Hi friends, the hole you see before you is 3 hours worth of labor, and I'll show some before pictures of what this area looked like, but I think you can kind of tell by what I've been left here with to situate what I've done. There's a bunch of like just these random little trees here that I showed you from the yard tour video, and my plan was to dig out as much of the roots as possible. So the soil in Virginia is really clay-like, and so, well, really clay, not clay-like, and the tap roots on these trees were very deep and packed in, so it was a bit of work. I know there's going to be some regret tomorrow if I don't take some ibuprofen. And so I have a Sam cherry. I went to Edible Landscaping yesterday after visiting my dear friend Loretta, and she lives out in Schuyler, which is close to Edible Landscaping. And so this is what I've got. They didn't have the pollinator that I wanted. Oh, someone's doing some yard work. They didn't have the pollinator. It was the white gold. That's a self-pollinating cherry, but is also a pollinator. So I'm gonna get that in the spring. But right now, this one is a 7-gallon, I believe. I'm gonna pull it out here. A 7-gallon. It's either a 4 or 7. So I'm gonna put it here. I've got some pine bark and some leaf compost that I'm gonna put in there as well, and then I might get some manure as well to top dress. And I have a bunch of leaves that I'm gonna also put on top, and water as well. So to pull this tree out, I am rotating the container and just kind of loosening it up. I don't want to damage any of the root system, so I can gently pull it out. Since I hadn't anticipated buying these, or at least this, until spring, I wasn't really prepared. I didn't do any research on what cherry trees really need. But this one is a dwarf, semi-dwarf, so it needs about 10 feet around in terms of space. So I do still have some work to do up here behind it, but just not something I can do today. So I have this annual perennial feed that I'm just going to give it for now, just to kind of give it something, and I'm going to sprinkle it around, and then I'm going to bring you up here. You can see that I didn't dig the hole very deep, but I really wanted to bring the soil level up more here. So what you have to do with grafted trees, grafted meaning that they took a cherry tree and grafted it to a different root system so that the root won't grow larger than the size that has been determined on this one as a dwarf. So I got a bug here. So you don't want the soil line to be above the grafting knob. You can see how it looks kind of knobby there, and I have actually a better example to show you on my pear tree. So I'm gonna cover some of the additional soil here, and then in the spring I'm gonna definitely place a lot more soil around here to raise up the soil levels. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of this I'm going to put some more leaf compost and then cover up the hole. So for this is if you're, see here, mix it with the soil before planting. This only really gives you for new plantings in a pot, but it's about 1.5 cups for 16-inch pot. So I'm just gonna put maybe like 2 or 3 handfuls in here. Sprinkle it around. You might think that it's not possible to over fertilize, but what that would cause, if you put too much feed or fertilizer, actually causes the roots to burn. So you definitely don't want to overdo the fertilizer. Definitely want to give a nice heavy watering. I actually didn't know you could plant trees or anything really like this in the wintertime. But George at Edible Landscaping told me. I'm really excited to get a head start on at least something for the springtime. No idea what size watering container this is. I don't know, maybe a gallon, maybe 2. But I'll probably, I'm actually gonna buy some more compost tomorrow. This isn't really at the level that I'd like it to be, and then I'll end up watering it again. But I'll include a final photo once I'm done. But I definitely have a big mess to work on now and clean up. So until next time, thanks everybody.